Anything can be sharpened. Anything. Big things, little things, things that are dull can be sharpened by you in your own home with only rudimentary basic sharpening skills, which is what I'm going to try to communicate here. So I got lots of stuff that all needs sharpening, and there are various tools that one uses to sharpen. But in every case, the tool is made of some kind of stone, because stone is harder than metal and will cut. So here we have what a lot of people have because they were given it for their wedding. Okay, it's a sharpening steel. You see butchers use these things by going, yeah, 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 you know, they get going on one of those things and it's kind of frightening. Well, what we have here is a different technique. This one is more for the homeowner who only sharpens the knives, once every 2 years, really. You plunk the end of the steel down so it's steady, and then run the knife down and pulling it towards you, almost like you were cutting thin slices of some substance, for example, tofu. All right, so look, down, and then the other side, down. So I'm pulling it, I'm drawing the knife toward me and sliding it down the steel. And what that does is it corrects the situation that occurs when you're chopping. You chop, 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 and every time the blade comes down on your cutting board, it flattens it. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of going like this at the bottom of the blade instead of into a tiny point. The point's getting flattened. So what this sharpening steel does is it just keeps freshening up that nice sharp edge on the end of your blade, okay? So that's how to use a sharpening steel. And I always like the old denim wipe at the end. You know, a barber will use a strop, a leather stropping thing. You remember that in the old barbershops? They go whap, 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 whap on a piece of leather. Well, it also, denim does the trick too, I like to think. Okay, so that's kitchen stuff. Now, I have another tool here, which is my shop knife, which is, it's actually fairly new. So it's not really chipped yet. This is what happens to the blade. Pretend this is a real close-up of a knife. The edge is all chipped. That's what the end of a knife looks like if you could see the blade of a knife in a microscopic close-up. It's very chipped. In fact, if you really look closely, it would look like this, my special diagram that I've drawn here. The blade just gets very chewed up. And so if I look closely at my shop knife, the blade, it isn't quite that bad yet, but it no longer has that tasty little, when I run my thumb across it, it doesn't feel tasty, like I'm pulling my finger across a guitar string. You know, it should feel like, almost like a wire. It's so fine. It doesn't feel that way. That's another safety thing. You always test a knife by running your finger perpendicular to the blade rather than parallel, like that's fairly obvious. If you look in the bottom of your tool drawer, you probably have some sharpening stones, or one at least. This is the size that usually turns up in the drawer. And it's just a tiny little oil stone. All three of these stones are oil stones. And they usually have a coarse side and a fine side. Okay, and so you, of course, if your blade is really hacked up, you start with the coarse side and then hone it on the fine side. I'm only going to use the fine side because my knife is still in pretty good shape. I just want to bring that lovely fresh point back again. So you squirt some oil on. Either brace the oil stone against a wall or clamp it. You can either, for me it's easier to keep the blade toward me, but I'll point it toward you so you can see the action. You just draw it across the stone, making little circular motions, and that brings the blade, the very edge of the blade back, and then flip it over, and the same thing. But like I say, most people, what they'll have in the house is just a little one like this, so it works to go with the little circles like this. Now, as you cut metal away from the blade to sharpen the blade, your oil stone will pick up particles, fine little particles of metal, and eventually it gets really gucky and the stone stops cutting. You can see on this stone, this is actual natural stone. It's Arkansas stone. And this side's really clean and pretty. This side's all hacked up and it's got coagulated metal and oil on it, and it doesn't cut at all anymore. So to clean it, you use mineral spirits or even more oil on a rag, and that'll clean it up really quickly. This is a hoe, and you know, this hoe has a fairly coarse angle on the blade because it's supposed to be used to cut through dirt. But if you wanted to use your hoe, for example, for surface weeds, you can change the angle on it to a really sharp one, and then it's hardly any work at all to do your weeding. You can pick any angle that you want. However, when you're working on a blade like this, you don't want to use one of these stones because it just takes forever to get it to actually cut away enough metal. This is a bastard file, and it cuts in one direction, which is away. So it will cut this metal if I push it away. So this file is used like this. How many of you are actually going to sharpen your hoe? I don't know. It's something I'm curious about. But I'll tell you what, a sharp hoe goes a lot further than a dull hoe. Nobody wants a dull hoe, do they? See how it's already starting to shine up? It's the same principle as using the little knife on the oilstone and the circular motions. Now I'm just using a slightly different tool, same motion. Oops. A knife, like on this thing, a knife is beveled on both sides. But with some garden tools and also with scissors, it's only beveled on one side. And so when you work on sharpening the blade, you end up creating a little tiny burr of metal on the opposite side of the blade. And so once you're done sharpening, which I'm obviously not yet, but I've started to sharpen this side, once you're done, you also have to file off that little burr that has formed on the back of the blade. And so all you would do, could this possibly be more awkward, is run the file or the sharpening stone down the opposite side, like that. Just a couple of passes to get rid of the burr. Knives are our friend, and so are other gardening implements and home implements that should be sharp and not dull. So I encourage you to have a shot at sharpening. It does take a little bit of finesse and practice, but once you get it, it is so easy. Aggravation level, almost zero, I'd say.